All right, we've got the in-studio crew here. Matt Cruse in. I'm Dylan Corbett. We've got UFC. What are we up to here? 276. Banger. I was saying that the last card I watched, the Glover, shock loss to Giri. That was one of the greatest cards I had ever seen in my life. It might be top this weekend. So we're hoping to watch it. Obviously, maybe stream it, maybe not, but it's going to be a banger up and down the card. Let's start with Adesanya Cannonier. You just said to me before we hit record, you think he's going to close minus 500?
Yeah, he's now, earlier today, he was at minus 410. I think he's further along now. And he's the play. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to lay him straight up, but I'll close a couple parlays into him.
Yeah.
Look, when has he ever lost to a striker, boxer type fighter? He hasn't. He's lost once. And it was when he just got outclassed, I guess, if you will, at light heavyweight. And we've seen it before with him. He knows how to win and defend a championship belt. He doesn't have to go be crazy, take risks. He's the most elusive fighter in the sport of any weight class, pound for pound. You just don't touch him. He chips away. He's the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, this entire fight fight card is basically ranked fights. You're not going to get cheated here. You've got Uriah Hall in an early prelim. Jessica Eyes there too. Yeah, for pound, according to UFC.com, they've got Kamaru, Volkanovski, and then there's Israel. So you're going to see two of the top three fighters in the game in one fight card. Max Holloway comes in.
I was going to say you don't have to go far down to find Max Holloway on that list either.
So yeah, I think it's Israel's the play. The only thing is Cannonier's I think he's the guy who basically after every fight he wins, he's like, I got to keep fighting because I'm broke. This dude is just he's literally fighting for his life. I know Adesanya is too, and most of these guys are, but holy shit, I don't know. But yeah, you said it. He's going to have he's done this before. It's like clockwork. Cannonier's never been here before. He's excited to get the opportunity. Just look at the reach. I mean, Cannonier's 5'9". I did not realize that. So yeah, I think Adesanya, that's why everyone's hammering him. Shevchenko, I think closed 600. I definitely laid it and sweated through that. But that's the thing is okay, yeah, you're afraid to lay that number, but you're confident that it's pretty accurately priced.
The thing that I did not realize about Cannonier is he started in as a heavyweight.
Yes.
Went to light heavyweight, and now he is in middleweight, and he is incredibly shredded, looks like a beast. But Adesanya is just going to be too much for him.
He's 38. He lost to Glover in the heavyweight division when he was a part of it. Yeah. All right. Volkanovski, Holloway, 3, right? This is about the shortest line you're ever going to see Volkanovski for the rest of his career. I mean, it's the best fight, one of the split decisions. Obviously, I've got some crazy stats here for you here because this is going to be an all-out war. Let's see here. Volkanovski, I mean, he is going, yeah. He's one of those guys that hasn't had less than 100 strikes in 3 years. And Holloway's even crazier because he's fought in 2 fights. He hasn't had less than 230 strikes in his last 2 because he went 230 and then he went 445 against Cater, output you will never see. That was just a crazy fight. He looked deformed after that. Any shot here in the dog? Is this your live dog?
I told you before we started I had a live dog. I figured we might, work our way up the card and kind of end with one of these. But here we are. And yes, Max Holloway is my live dog, plus 160. Like you said, Volkanovski, this is about minus 200. That's about as short as a line as you will see from him. Mm-hmm. Everyone in that second fight said Max won, at least a lot of people. I watched it actually. Michael Bisping said for his money, he's got Max 3-0 through the first 3 rounds and proceeds to lose by decision. But interestingly, at the start of the 3rd round, they said that Max was minus 400 at the time. So that tells you where he was after the first 2 rounds. I actually do think Volk won the next 3 and fairly won the fight.
Yeah.
Point is, I'm on Max. He is a champion himself. Volkanovski, like you said, 2nd in the pound for pound rankings right now, one of the best lightweight or featherweights we've ever seen. So is Max.
No, totally.
Because people are saying the winner of this one is the best featherweight of all time. Max was quick to say, we're not going to forget about Jose Aldo. And that's someone who Max beat twice. He just has a lot of respect for Aldo defending the belt 8 times, which Volkanovski is on that path right now.
4.5, the over under line has moved towards Volkanovski for whatever that is worth. Max Holloway has not had less than 100 strikes in 6 years. You're getting your money's worth with that fight. Okay, those are the top 2. Sean Strickland. I mean, I like this guy. A pick 'em. What's the rate here? The over under is 1.5.
Pereira is like one of the most feared men in the world. He's a world-class kickboxer. And that's why he's only got 6 or 7 fights in his record.
Right.
It's because those kickboxing numbers.
He's not ranked, right? Because he's
correct. He just came to the UFC, but his first UFC fight was like 2nd or 3rd on the main card. So like,
right.
He's the only person to ever knock out Israel Adesanya. He did it in a kickboxing.
Okay. Oh,
so it's not on Adesanya's record. It's outside of MMA technically. So his nickname means something. It means stone hands because it means stone hands. Yeah, because like he'll just be 2 inches away from you with a jab and knock you out. Like he's got ridiculous power. So.
I don't remember this flying knee that he had.
I watched it last night. I didn't remember live. It was on when we were at Sarge's for Friendsgiving.
Oh, okay.
That was the day. It was Usman Covington.
Yeah.
But no, I saw the day Strickland said he's going to wrestle.
Okay. Yeah.
And so if he does that, Pereira could struggle.
All right. You said you had the live dog. I told you I'm going to take out a second mortgage and I'm going to put it on Brian Barberena. Come on. What are we doing here? We've got 2 people on the same card that are just laugh out loud funny. I mean, Robbie Lawler stealing your money here on the main card. Yeah, he beat Nick Diaz. Great. He's not ascending. What is this? He's still ranked, or I don't know if he's actually, I think he is ranked, maybe not.
What weight class?
I'll have to check it out here. I don't have the glasses on me. I should put them on. But I mean, here's the thing. Robbie Lawler, yes, he could get to professional win number 30. He's won twice in 6 years. Okay, the same time Max Holloway is striking people 100 times or more. Robbie Lawler is losing to Tyron Woodley, beating Cowboy. He could have lost that fight, arguably, losing 4 straight and then beating Nick Diaz. And he honestly could have, he knocked him out. That's right. Otherwise, I think Nick Diaz was fucking pounding him. So, yeah, this is going to be a war. They'll probably give us a great-ass fight, but give me Barberena large, and the line's actually moving towards Lawler. I love it.
He lost 5 straight before. He beat Nick Diaz, and even his win before that was over Cowboy.
Yeah, classic.
But this dude had a belt for a handful of times, so that's interesting.
True. Yeah. I mean, he was one of the hottest fighters around back in like 14 through 17 or 16. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't have much on this. I did not see his last win, and I didn't pay attention to UFC before that. So I have no idea what to expect, but I'm definitely going to ride with you on it because you're taking a strong opinion here, which I like.
I was on Barberena against Matt Brown, and I was on him against Darian Weeks, and he could have lost that one. There's been a couple of fights like, he won a split decision over Matt Brown. Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, I wonder
if I had him in that.
I think you had Matt Brown, but I was on.
I didn't have Brown because that was the night.
Split decision winner because Matt Brown was wrestling.
I must have sat out that. Yes, I might have taken him. Not in a part.
So if this goes to a decision, hopefully Barberena gets the lucky draw there again. All right, Sugar Sean O'Malley, crazy. He's only lost 1 fight.
O'Malley fight will not go 2 rounds. Sugar Sean is putting him out fairly early.
Is that the parlay? Sugar Sean and Adesanya, maybe throw in someone else.
Yeah, with a couple others for sure.
You could get close to plus money there.
Maybe
you might have
Ian Gary, Jalen Turner.
Yes. I mean, just right down the line. Yeah, Munoz is one of these veteran guys where it's just like, the numbers there out of respect. Changing on the guard. Turner Riddell is going to be crazy. Or Riddle.
I love that fight. Riddell, right the first time. I love that a lot. I also love Jalen Turner a lot. I'm not sure what to think of Riddell. I watched him fight once. He got knocked out by Faizi.
Yeah.
But he's like a distance guy fighter. His average fight time is 14 and a half minutes. So he doesn't get knocked out. He doesn't knock you out. Right. Meanwhile, Turner averages 6.5 minutes and has 100% finish rate, including a 4-fight finish streak. So
yeah,
I love him a lot. I watched him knock out Jamie Malarkey.
Oh yeah,
back in March, if you remember that. He's got an 8-inch reach advantage, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, this is he's basically he's another guy that only fights on like he's a big draw. So this should be like he only fights on UFC kind of main events. So this should be a banger of a fight. Is this where you are? This is the prelim main event, so to speak.
Dude, the main prelim card is possibly better than the main card.
Yeah, because you got Robbie Lawler in the main card, and then you got Cowboy here in the prelim. But yeah, Ian Gary, undefeated. He's another guy. He's a draw. He fights in these big events. I mean, it's great. It's great. What do you got here? What pops out when you're looking at this prelim? The prelim.
Brad Tavares and Duplessis. I don't even know his first name. I love Duplessis here. He's 16-2 in his career. All finishes and his wins. And Tavares is kind of like Rydell. He's not really a grappler either. Duplessis can do he can do both. I like him a lot. He's a young guy too, like maybe 28, up and coming guy trying to get into the rankings. He's a real deal. There's definitely parlay opportunity here in the prelim card. We didn't even talk about any thoughts on Cowboy and Jim Miller. I mean, Jim Miller, I think, is appropriately priced. Yeah, I think Jim Miller might destroy him. Cerrone's been trying to fight for the last 3 months against Joe Lazan, or however you pronounce it. It's got called off once each for sure by each of them. So we'll fucking see.
Yeah. Cowboy hasn't won a fight in 3 years. He's, of course, we all remember when Conor McGregor touched him up in 40 seconds. He didn't even get off a strike. So there it is. All right, let's wrap up with UFC here in the early prelims. Uriah Hall. I mean, this Munoz guy, I don't
sub guy, huge sub guy.
Yeah. So that's why I think he's favored so heavily. Uriah Hall was a big time prospect at one point.
Oh, Uriah Hall fought for the belt, I believe. Nicknamed Prime Time, but he's past his prime time. I think he does get submitted pretty early on if it gets to the ground early, but you never know. He's got legit knockout power. So
he won that fight against Chris Weidman where he broke his leg. Weidman threw the fucking strike and literally just snapped his leg. So it was he didn't even throw a strike and he got a KO. Like it was just a bizarre leg check that he basically snapped his leg in half. Freak like Kevin Ware shit. He lost to Sean Strickland. Yeah, that's going to be interesting there. Let's see. I'm moving down the line so Munoz is minus 333 right now. Jessica Jesus Christ, she's a huge dog too. She hasn't won a fight, it seems like, in forever. She's been caught on like some split decision losses.
It's like I've seen her lose at least 3 times. And mind you, I've been a UFC fan for like 15 months.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is she gonna lose her contract, not get renewed? But she's also ranked top 10. Yeah. She's also in the top 15 pound for pound women. So I don't know if she'll ever win again, but I don't think she's going anywhere. I've seen her get knocked out a couple times in addition to a decision loss.
Yeah, no, she's lost 3 straight since I've become a fan.
Are they all decisions or what?
They are all decisions.
Oh, really?
But she has definitely worn all 3 of them.
Okay, that's what it is. Sure. Yeah.
I don't know too much about this last one. Any final thoughts?
I have nothing.
276.
No, but this could be figured out, but I swear, take the dog every time you bet a woman's fight and you would be very profitable.
Sure.
Because they go to distance almost every time.
Just wrapping up with some Wimbledon thoughts because I have you here. It is still super early, but I'm looking down the path. I mean, Iga Swiatek, I took her for
what was it pre-tournament?
Yeah, I think it was about even.
Sounds right.
Plus 105. I put 2 units on it. I was like, come on. She did drop a set in her last match, which is very rare. This winning streak has been incredible. So I obviously all eyes on her for the women. Men, it's setting up for an Alcaraz Djokovic showdown. Alcaraz, I don't think grass is his best, but he dominates everything. He was wearing a shooter sleeve in one of his matches. He's so sick. One of my favorite people to watch. And he's 1-0 against Djokovic, but that was on clay. Djokovic defending two-time defending champ where he beat Berrettini. Nadal is who I took because he has a chance for the Grand Slam, and everyone's rooting for that.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, no, I don't have much on Wimbledon, but I definitely will be tuned in pretty much starting now.
Yeah.
As we get to it, like you said, I think you said this, but you got Joker and Alcaraz in a collision course, and then who does Nadal have to go through? That's the real question.
Potentially, like Tsitsipas again. You don't know what he's favorite. He's a dog tomorrow against Kyrgios. So basically, it's wide open for Nadal to pave his way there. Like he should be favored well on his way to the final, where I think he's going to face off with the winner of Djokovic and Alcaraz, because Casper Ruud went down. He's one of those top seeds. And I'm just trying to quickly, I don't even, Berrettini's actually, that's who's been dominating on grass. You were asking me about the grass court season.
Who?
Berrettini, who was in the final last year. He's been winning. He went back to back.
Really?
Grass. So let's see. Yeah, it might be Berrettini. We said he lost to Fritz. Fritz could potentially give him a battle. He won an ATP 1000. Hey, do you have any thoughts on your new Big Ten conference?
I don't like it at all, but it actually, one of the things I saw is just for football.
Someone on the fan, I think.
I don't particularly care much about Big Ten football because Notre Dame, but of course, allow me to make this about Notre Dame. Notre Dame is like got the most leverage. Like everyone wants them now because other conferences, so like ACC needs Notre Dame more than ACC needs, or Notre Dame needs ACC. But like Big Ten's going to be talking to Notre Dame. Like they're all trying to make a super conference.
They're trying to be the SEC.
Yeah, so the SEC is going to try to make a move.
The ACC is in a precarious position.
Like watch
Pac-12 just got punched in the face.
Here's my prediction: in Big 12 is going to disappear for Noah. It's going to turn into just the SEC and the Big 10. So maybe they'll call it like a north-south. Oh God, no. We don't need that again. How about an east-west? Even though geographically it doesn't make a lot of sense.
The maps are super fun.
But what I was about to say though is Clemson, Florida State. They're going to go to the SEC next. Book it.
Clemson and Florida State, you said? I think Miami's looking.
Well, all of them.
Yeah. Okay.
But like the wanted ones, the other ones, like they'll go do their own things, like the shitty ACC schools.
Is it Notre Dame number one and currently in class? They've been crushing recruiting.
2023 and 2024. Marcus Freeman era.
Yeah, it's good on him. And he's got to be just someone's pumping in money. Like, what are they going to? Jesus Christ himself? You know, where's the money coming from? South Bend?
Notre Dame has always had the money. It's just where they allocate it to. They're now putting more money into the football program than ever before.
Yeah.
Never more apparent than like pictures of offensive coordinator Tommy Rees getting on a PJ. They didn't recruit like that before. So it's awesome to see. They're not going to, I don't think they'll even make the playoff this year, but like they're building because they open at Ohio State. So like, I don't know, you lose twice, you're out, and you're most likely.
That's a good loss, and could be potentially
right. They basically just have to run the table since then. So we'll see, but should be fun.
In Miami, like now because they got a crystal ball right now, they're going full in on football. They've been doing all right. But they fired their AD, and he's BC's new AD. So Blake James or something. My mom's always calling me. She's like, I've got news. I'm like, yeah, I heard, because everything's on Twitter. She thinks she gets an email from like the board and she thinks she's going to break the news to me. But yeah, I mean, Halfley, God, I talked with the play-by-play guy for Rutgers, and I was like, hey, we got a big game. It's the opener. Like, that's not a sleep non-conference opponent. If we lose I saw we're 7.5 point favorites.
Okay.
That's going to be a great game. We're excited for college football. Our old AD fucking went to Penn State, so there's some big time for you. I mean, no brainer, and he's a Pennsylvania guy. Yeah, so that's crazy. So Guardsy on the fan today asked if now they're going to have hockey out west, college hockey, because the Pac-12 doesn't do hockey. I'm pretty sure, which I was kind of stunned to think about. All right, that'll do it. Have a great weekend. 4th of July. Enjoy it.